Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mindalia TV livestream, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to watch the interviews and talks organized by MindaliaTV.com. In this occasion, we're very, very happy to have with us Angel Ribo, who is a CEO consultant, TV host, international public speaker, and president of Wisdom for Kids, conducting an interview to Brad and Kasey Wallis. They are authors, international speakers, and workshop leaders with an expertise in releasing limitations, lack, and need. Kasey Wallis channels the non-physical entity Julius, and together with her husband Brad, tell the story of Brad's near-death experience and how it brought them together in an unexpected way. This ultimately paved the way for the much-needed spiritual lessons that Julius shares with the world today. Right before we welcome our guests, and before we start with the interview, I would like to remind you all that if you like our channel, you can always subscribe to Mindalia TV on YouTube. And if you would like to help Mindalia help the world, you can please leave us a positive comment down below this video or give us a like. Also, to allow your interaction while we are live, there's a chat on the side of your screen where you can ask all the questions that you want to our guest, who will kindly answer to them by the end of the interview. Without further delay, please welcome Angel Ribo, Brad, and Kasey. Thank you all so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Paula, and we are super excited to have Brad and Kasey Wallis with us again. Thank you very much for allowing us to have you again today.
Wow, we are so thrilled.
This kind of project, just getting this on the air, right?
Yeah, our audience hasn't seen that, but yeah, exactly. We're a little bit late today, but everything happens for a reason. So we're extremely blessed to have you here. And today we want to do something different from the last time that we met with you. You are so kind and generous with us that you're sharing the time again with us. So we would like to do something extremely useful for our audience. So we're going to be extremely, oriented to them and trying to answer as many questions as possible. But the first thing is welcome to your home, Brad and Kasey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is an absolute honor to be here, and especially an honor to be with your guests. Their time is so valuable, and so we really appreciate them making a connection with us. Welcome, everybody.
Absolutely, thank you. So probably the first thing we have to do in order to frame adequately the conversation, we have to say who you are and what you do and why there's someone else with us today. And I would like you to explain who Julius is, please.
Well, the first thing I think that we could say that we do is show off. We pretty much show off. Julius is a extraordinary non-physical energy being that we are blessed and honored with being the conduits for. My husband here had a massive car accident in 2007 and sustained a bad brain injury. My daughter and I were the facilitators for him at that time to help him get around. My daughter worked for him at the time. And Brad suffered a near-death experience during his rehabilitation when he overdosed on some medication.
Yeah, I was gone for 8 hours. I try the easiest way to explain it to everybody is I had one of what we call a picture-in-picture experience, where just like watching your show here, you're on the screen and we're over in the corner. Well, that's kind of like the experience I was experiencing, where I was watching what was going on here on this earthly plane of existence and able to experience what was going on the other side, both at the same time. And the group was explaining to me what the human experience was all about. And they kept asking me, did I want to come back? And apparently, because I wasn't giving them an answer, they kept asking me the question, are you wanting to go back? Do you want to go back? And actually what I was doing was I was trying to analyze the circumstances that I was in and use to the best of my ability what was going to be to my best advantage by coming back. And I asked them, well, I said to them, the only reason I'm going to go back is if you guys come with me, because nobody's ever going to believe this story. And they, of course, agreed. And so by coming back to this plane of existence, we've now opened up this opportunity for Julius to teach human beings about what the human existence is all about.
Yeah. So when Brad woke up in the hospital, I started trans-channeling Julius back to him so that he wouldn't think he was dreaming and that this thing was very real. And the crazy ride got launched from that day. And here we are on spectacular programming like yours.
And what was that experience like, Kasey? How was like that first time that you experienced the presence of Julius and that you were talking on his behalf?
Julius is very powerful, and it was challenging for me at first. I'm a trans channel, so I don't recall the experience during the experience. I get it as a download afterwards. And so it was just a loss of time and space for me when they would come through. And of course, I would be dizzy. My energy would be very low. I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. Brad was telling me that somebody was speaking through me. And of course, I figured, you got a brain injury. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. So he started tape recording the conversations, which didn't make me feel much better. Then I really thought I was off. But with practice, with patience, with diligence, I had to come to an agreement with Julius.
I was going to say, we all had to come to agreement because I wanted more information. She would literally get sick physically because of the energy and being able to adjust to all of it. And the fact that she used to get mad thinking the only reason that I ever wanted her around was because the conversations with Julius, you know, that altered ego that seems to work on all of us so well. But an agreement was made amongst the group and us, and we've launched Julius out into the world, and we've been at it for over 10 years now, and it's been one heck of a ride.
Yeah, so now it actually gives me energy, which is really lovely, and the collaboration gets smoother and smoother and more seamless. I think it's because my trust has grown also with the process.
What was the first consequence in your lives when you came into an agreement with Julius and the group, as you mentioned it? What was the first consequence in your daily life or in general in your life? What happened?
Yeah, I got to answer this one. Okay, that's a very good question, because I have a recording where I was recording a conversation that we were having, and at a certain moment in the conversation, Julius pauses and says, "Well, what do you think?" And I was stunned by that comment. And they said, "Didn't you hear us? We've been waiting for you to talk back to us. When are you going to start speaking to us?" And at that moment, I realized that our communication was a two-way street.
Yeah.
They not only were going to teach me through conversations, but I could literally ask the questions to them that so many people want, and that they would give me back those answers. And so that just totally changed the game.
Yeah.
Just totally changed everything that we were doing at that time.
Yeah, but the first application from Julius was to get Brad better with his brain injury. We couldn't do anything with Brad in the condition that he was. And so we had to be patient and let Julius and Brad work together to activate dormant parts of his brain to help him get well and able to project on this path that we had set an intention to do. And that was a little bit of a process. That took a year or two. And it's actually always a continual process for you as you grow and expand, as we all grow and expand, right? And then Brad just decided to throw Julius out for everybody to reap the benefits from.
Wow, beautiful. Excellent. So fast forward, we are here today, and you've helped a lot of people, and through Julius. So could you tell us a little bit how has this journey been of so many years, and how many people have you been able to help and support and serve?
Well, thanks to the internet and television programming like yours, it's really been extraordinary. We're actually grateful that we're here now, as opposed to the facilitators that really struggled, 30, 40 years ago with getting themselves out in the field. It's a game of presenting yourself, being accepted, intermingling, and things like that. But with the use of the internet, my heavens, hundreds of thousands of people now can hear. Sometimes it's just an interview that they hear with Julius that turns a light on for them. Sometimes they join us for quite a long time with a lot of teachings and workshops and retreats and things that we have. It's constantly changing, always expanding and growing. And it's wonderful. It's just wonderful. It's extraordinary. Sometimes it's celebrities. Sometimes it's somebody just walking on the street. When we travel to other countries, sometimes it's quite literally going into the villages where nobody knows who we are at all. And Julius I'll grab somebody's hand and Julius will start, talking to them, and that's really fun to still be able to have those extraordinary experiences.
Yeah, there's experience after experience after experience, but the amazing thing is we've had the opportunity to go to some third world countries and spend quite a little bit of time there. And it's absolutely amazing to me that as we arrive, someone from the village or someone from the community will always come up to us and say, I had a dream about you guys.
Yeah.
They said you were coming.
Yeah.
They told us you were coming in the dream.
Yeah.
And it almost brings me to tears every time that happens. And it reconfirms just how important the messages are that all of us are bringing in the spirituality world, that there is so much more out there than we've been led to believe.
Yeah, some of those countries, Angel, as you know, don't have access to programming. They just don't. And we think it's absolutely extraordinary that these people are growing their consciousness themselves. They're doing their inner work. They're looking for great conversation. They're looking for answers. It's very easy for those of us in the US or in Europe, in some of the South American countries, to have access to great teachers and great facilitators. And it seems pretty easy for us to even be able to pick up a book and start get some of the answers that we're looking for. But these people don't have access to anything, and they're growing their consciousness, and they're starving for somebody to talk to. And when Julius comes through and tells them they're not crazy, that their minds are not crazy, that their extraordinary thoughts are there to serve them and to others, it really is a beautiful thing to experience with them.
You bet, absolutely. So this is just the starting point of our conversation. I would like to carry on with something really special, and I'm sure that both of you and Julius and the group will love that. And so I would like to basically, do something for our entire audience, for all these people that since we started back in February have been supporting us, all these people that have been, liking us online, have been sending us these wonderful reviews, everybody that has been visualizing all those different, productions that we have been conducting and making throughout this month. So would it be possible that, you conducted some sort of exercise so, all of our entire audience could benefit from, again, I know I'm talking a lot and probably you should be talking more than me, but just trying to position it adequately. Would that be possible then?
Yes, yes. It is honorable. It is our honor, Master, to facilitate the open field of energy, for everyone on this earth ship seeks an open field of energy for themselves in receivership and exchange of love and abundance and wellness. So if your audience members would please join us for a few moments as we guide you through a process of the open energy field. And if, as you are watching this program, or perhaps listening to this program, if you would close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, this allows to block the illusion and allows access from deep within your physical embodiments, where all answers lie, Masters, where the connection of the soul is achievable and acquired. And as you breathe, you bring the light in. Imagine with your inhalation that light comes into your physical embodiment, expands, and escapes your physical embodiment to inspire the light projection outside of you. Inhalation of light, expansive light, Master, and inspirational light. Bringing the light in, expanding the light, inspiring the light is who you are, Master, who your souls are. And this open field of light makes all thought, all emotion, and all things within your universe and galaxy accessible to you. Breathe. And we imprint on you the open energy field where your heart space is open, your mind is open, and your emotions and your soul are allowed and permitted with no judgment, no agenda, and no requirement. So shall your energy field be unlimited and illuminated and buoyant. We press upon you all well-being in your minds and in your bodies and in your soul. And as you hold this energy field open, shall you never be afraid. Never be afraid of being vulnerable, for your open energy field gives you strength and security and assuredness, and allows the open exchange process from the all. Masters, it is our honor to be here with you. May your lives be blessed with more abundance than you could possibly imagine, but go ahead and try, as it will be.
Okay. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It is
Excellent.
our honors to open that field, Master, for your listeners who think they don't have help, they don't have a chance, but they do. And for all lovers to come together in the embrace of knowing everyone is in that field, and may your buoyancy also never stop moving.
All right, let me, before we start with some questions coming from us and then questions coming from the audience, is there any sort of question that wouldn't be appropriate to ask Julius?
Any questions are permitted, Masters. We just ask you to be ready for your answers.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful. All right, so we're going to start with a question. It's about relationships, and it's about
Yes.
someone right now that that is not in a relationship, and she's
Yes.
been really trying really hard. Is a lady. She's been trying really, really hard to find that person that will be able to be with her happily for the rest of her life.
Yes.
What
And
could
so,
we?
Master, the energy of resistance, she's creating the energy of resistance by even making the statement that it's hard, or that she's working hard. Okay, she should be working, allowing. She should be opening the field, but she should be feeling her love herself, Master, because that is the field that will attract all the love around her. And love will come in all ways. It is the thought and the emotion that something is hard that actually makes it hard. Because you are the creator of your experience, Master, and you do it through your emotional content. You've got to shift into feeling that this is easy, this is joyful, this is playful, and this is fun. And that lets that field down and blows the doors open for receivership. It is also being in the mindset of understanding that you must keep your mind and your heart fully open without agenda, requirement, or what you think something should look like when it shows up. Then it is clear. Then it is permittable and creatable. So we want to encourage your person, your beautiful light being, to shift her perspective from difficulty to ease, and know that this process is true, and then it shall be.
Thank you so much. The next question is: recently, there has been a few friends of ours that have been dying of cancer in the last couple of years, and that has generated, besides emptiness in our lives, doubts about how to deal with a similar situation in the future. What should we do? How should we cope with this kind of situations?
Well, Masters, first we will tell you that they do not die. Death is an illusion. They transition from physical into non-physical, and it is very important for you to understand that. That is actually going to solve your problem, because that's going to eliminate the fear of experience for you, Master, which will more than generally eliminate the experience of the fear. Okay? So cancer is an actualized fear-based thought process within the physical embodiment. We know that this is a challenge for people who have this disease to understand this, but once they do, miracles can occur.
Also, you need to understand when we make the comment that they continue on, that they are there. Every moment that you think about them,
yes,
they are right there next to you.
And they would be telling you to not be afraid, or it is their fears that manifested and actualized within their physical embodiment. And they would say, stop living in concern, stop living in fear, and live in joy. Live in joy, and never give anything a second thought that you do not choose to experience, Master. It is staying focused amidst distraction, but that is your answer. That is your answer. Move away from being worried. Move away from being afraid, and live in every moment of now to your fullest capacity. You have nothing to worry about. We promise you, you are well and you are safe. Live in light, and you shall always be illuminated and have clear vision.
Thank you. A lot of, in Mindalia TV, we serve a large audience with, they really want to know more, they want to understand more, and they want us to help them have better lives and happier lives, live happier lives. You mentioned fear. I'm sure that a lot of the members of our audience understand that they have to get rid of fear, but isn't it fearful to get rid of fear? Isn't it difficult to get rid of fear? What would Julius tell us how to get rid of fear?
Good question, Master.
Wow. Never been asked that question before. Thank you.
Yeah. And people are afraid of fear. So they have double layers, and they judge fear. So they have triple layers of fear. Fear is an embedment, Masters, that has been so programmed from you from the moment that you arrived. You were introduced to fear. Oh, you're going to freeze to death. Oh, you're going to starve to death. Shoot the inoculations in the baby. They're going to get sick. We don't have enough money.
Wrap the baby up in clothes because they're going to get cold. I mean, it's just one fear-based thought right after another. And so from the moment you're born, that energy gets sent into you without you even realizing that it's happening.
Most households shift. If they were stressed before they had a baby, they're even more stressed after they have a baby. And that environment begins the imprinting, Master. It begins the imprinting, let alone, as you know, the vast majority of the consciousness on this realm is deeply seated in fear and control. And so it's an embedment process that you are continually saturated with. Once you become aware of the desire to begin to strip away the mass collectedness of fear in your life, it's an all-around lifestyle change. Okay?
I was going to say on how the majority of the programming that we do at Expand with Julius is teaching people how to rethink
and get rid of
the way they think. That is probably 90% of what our programming is. It's easy for us to go on to a show like yours and just say, fear's nothing. It's easy to forget about it. It doesn't work that way. This is a life experience that has to be changed. And the only way that you can change that is you have to do it, not us. We can give you the tools. We can give you all the information there is, but you have to recognize that there's a problem and recognize that only you are the one that can make those changes.
It takes discipline and practice, just like anything else that you're going to change. You change things in your environment. You change the programming that you are addicted to watching. You shift to the high consciousness programming. You shift to the high consciousness books. You shift to the high consciousness dialogue and company. You learn to catch yourself in fear-based thoughts and say, no, I will shift my thought into a possibility, into an expandability. Identifying fear is a whole nother fun game. Most people don't even know what it looks like, and most people don't even know what it feels like. So we can help you refine that sensitivity as well. But what we can tell you is this: fear has a limitation to it. Thought limitation, emotion limitation, experience limitation. If it has a limitation to it, it's fear-based. If it is fully expandable, possible, and fully allowed, it is love. Go to those thoughts, those feelings, and those experiences, and you are in good practice.
You touched on a very, very important subject, and will always like to say that they are the only part of the audience that cannot see us, but they're so important to us, which are the kids. You mentioned the kids and what happens to the kids as soon as they are born. What would you suggest that we could do with the kids as soon as we have them in our hands? What could we do so that they grow up fearless?
Yes. The first thing that we will tell you, Master, is work your hardest to eliminate the fear energy coming from you, emitting from you, because you teach through demonstration. So eliminating as much fear-based energy within their environment is vital, but your dialogue, welcome, you extraordinary, unlimited, expandable light being. We cannot wait to see what you have to teach us and remind us of. You can do anything, you can be anything, and together we will explore all possibilities. How about that first dialogue with them and constantly telling them they are magical, they are possible, they are everything, constantly feeding, and also to tell them that everyone is. So as they get into this acceptable mindset of how fully empowered they are, they know all others are as well. And so you have actions of honor and compassion for each other, not competitiveness, not control, and not arrogance. It is a kindness field of acknowledgement and appreciation. And the children who are arriving now are commanding that. They are crystalline children, they are indigo children, and they do not conform. And they do not want to give in to the mindset of the ages that are deeply seated in fear based on this realm. So take advantage of the opportunity of that interaction. Don't be afraid of it, because then you're imprinting fear into the whole experience. It is such an opportunity to be blessed with companies of newly arrived souls. They come fresh with their minds. They come fresh with their emotions, bathe in their energy, and support each other always.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Even if we are kind of late, let's say we start talking to our kids this way, you know, when they are already like 5 or 10 or 15, are we still, do you think that we still can have a positive impact in their further development?
Love always has a positive impact. Isn't that awesome? You can change everything right now in your life by loving, but you must practice it. You must practice. You can't just speak it, you must know it. So this is a great opportunity for your listeners to shift everything in their life and demonstrate their glorious progress to everyone that they interact with. And open up the communication for it and say, let's make changes. Let's make extraordinary. Let's allow unleashment. Let me hear your ideas. Let me tell you my ideas. Do you know how intimate your relationship could get when authentic souls communicate? Even if they think you're a little weird at first, just laugh and say, I find such joy in your company. I just find such joy in your company. They will soften, they will receive, and they will open. It will transform very quickly if you get out of the mindset that it's too late or that it's hard. You are unlimited beings, and you have forever. You are never going to run out. So grab it without any concern or stress.
What about that relative or that neighbor that, you know, I mean, we've tried forever, you know, it's like every Thanksgiving, just to give you an example, I'm just, you know, that's a theory, right? But, you know, we all have this relative, this neighbor that we've tried everything to, you know, get along well with. Yes. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. So are you saying that we should use this unconditional love no matter what? Next time we meet with that person?
We do not agree with being abused. We do not agree with being abused, but we will tell you this. You control how someone affects you. That's the great news. So you can diffuse somebody with a perspective. That is a truth, okay? The more you react to somebody, you keep the conflict going. The more you allow that energy to pass through you, the conflict flows out the door and becomes far more dissipated than the conflicting hard energy in front. By softening your energy with the strength of love, you imprint a suggestion to that person as well. More often than not, you will experience at least a portion of a softening with them, and you stay centered amidst distraction. You are God in form. Don't forget that. It does not mean that you have to accept harm from another, move away from it, or learn how to be the mere conscious reflection to put it back on the other person while staying calm and peaceful and loving. It's an extraordinary path into mastery, but you asked for it. You asked to know yourselves as masters, and you can't know it without the challenges. Everything's all fine and dandy when things are golden goblets and rainbows for you, but when the conflict is in front of you, staying centered amidst distraction is the task and the measure and the test of how extraordinary you are.
It's that time in the year now, end of beginning of June, end of May, in which there's graduation ceremonies everywhere. A lot of people get graduated. Even myself, I have a kid that is graduating, and I talk to a lot of parents. 17-year-old, 18-year-olds, they're completely different to what they were a few years ago. There's a lot of, I would say there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of, what's going to happen with my kid. They have been exposed to so many things.
Yes.
They might or might not go to college, but there's this fear. I know we've talked about fear still, but if we keep on having this fear as parents, do you think that we might be able to maybe create something on the lives of our kids? Or what's the best attitude? I know you're going to say to love them, but what else can we do when we know that youth is such a difficult place to be today as opposed to where we were young, right?
It is.
We're still young, but let's say younger.
You inspire their creativity, Master, because their creativity holds all the answers for them. And you must be the creative being to show them how. It's you who are supposed to be guiding them and demonstrating to them, which means you have to practice your creative unleashment as well.
The world is changing. You know that. Look at the changes that have come about through Mindalia television. Mm-hmm. And next week, next month, it's going to be something new and elaborate also. This is the times that we live in, and these are the changes that we all have. What works one week doesn't work the next. Inspire the children to go with how they feel.
Also, at 18 years old, they usually are faltering on their empowerment. They're faltering on their empowerment. They also may be very afraid of acceptability, not only by you, but by the masses based on the decisions that they're going to make within a very short window. And allowing them to know that those things are an illusion. They're an illusion. They are a fully empowered being. Let's access that. You are here to demonstrate your creative ability. Let's explore that. By opening up those fields of communication, that's where all the answers lie. But so many adults are so disconnected from their own authenticity, it's just jibber jabbish coming out of their mouths. And these young people know it. Guidance through love and allowing is the process. All souls are safe, Master. That's great news. All souls are safe. But the choices have to be theirs, and you can only influence or inspire. We want you to inspire, not influence. Influence is with fear. Inspire is with love. But tell them that they are not going to run out of time to showcase their absolute magnificence and to remember that souls are learning from them all the time. And that will also help them shift and help them be mindful of the things that they will choose to do.
Excellent. Let's go to the family, this institution that we have been growing up within. There's a lot of families that, they live, let's say, not together. They live distantly, and maybe they've lost kind of touch. And that means that they've also lost a little bit that, love and that connection that they used to have before. Some might not even talk to their parents or then talk to their siblings, and someone was confiding that to me just today, just this morning before we talked earlier today. So what could we say? Because I think that family is really a unity. Is something that we share something with our relatives that probably we don't share with people external to our family. What could you say? What does Julius think about this?
Well, we support that family is a support system. It's a support system. And some people have it very internally through a blood relationship, and others do not. You must seek out, develop, and create your support system for yourself. You are the creative beings of the all. Just because a family is blood related and may have connected at one time to come into this physical experience, it doesn't mean that that energy frequency connection lasts always a full lifetime, and it's okay. Don't judge it, don't expect, and don't require. Those are all fear-based emotions and expectations. If you do not feel that you have support from your blood relation families, create a network for yourself. Join a network and you'll find your family. You will. But better than that, you lead your family, Master. You be the leader and the creator, and you will never be alone.
Is it possible that there is another kind of family that maybe we are not aware of? Is there a soul family? Is there something that maybe we are attracted to within our lives that we don't realize? Is that a possibility?
Yes, that's the common thread to the teaching of the law of attraction.
Yeah, we say you don't make friends, you meet up with old friends.
Yes, you meet old friends. You're here to experience. As a human being, this is all just an experience. And so if the experience in your life has sent part of your family in a different direction, then it's okay to continue on with who you are, and you will attract back to you the same energy frequency people.
Yeah, that you do that a lot with.
Right.
Human beings incarnate themselves in many, many, many physical lives with an arena of familiar souls. That is a truth. You have a trust between you, you have a reliability between you, and you have intimacy and familiarity between you. You can definitively notice these people on very quick introductions. You get a wave. You get a wave of peace and calm from them. That's your tribe. That's your tribe. They don't have to stick around forever, always. Sometimes it's just a quick, small thing that impacts you, and you know that you've made a connection with your tribe. Others will last a very, very long time. You are never stuck in a tribe. You are always allowed in a tribe. That's great news. But yes, oftentimes, Master, the blood relationship has very little to do with your soul family, because you could have left that very recently and are reintroducing yourself into a new field. There's a very simple way to know. How do you feel? How do you feel? You are never wrong. You are always right. Isn't that awesome? You are always right. We will teach you how to know your feelings, trust your feelings, honor your feelings, expand your feelings. And then you'll lose all your doubts and your fears. Know more, and be more. And it is remarkable what can be achieved.
Would you, before going to the audience, because there's plenty of questions already, so I would like to ask you, what do you think? What do you think that about Mindalia TV, about our team? Could you advise us of something? Is there something that you would like to share with us tonight?
Yes, always be authentic and don't be afraid to be. Everyone's afraid to be authentic. That's what's missing. Okay, they start off with a dream, they start off with an idea, and you know that everything that is controlled is usually controlled with fear, and you hold steadfast to your authenticity, you will always win. You will always win in all ways. Your crew and your staff is extraordinary. We've had the blessings of being in their energy field and being in their company. So we know it is true. If you get weak, if you get concerned, and if you get stressed, get your tribe together. They'll raise each other up. You know who you are. That's going to be the shift. Everyone on this earth ship has gotten sick and tired of being fooled, of being manipulated, and they know that they have to align themselves with energy that feels authentic. They have to trust their own selves again. And all you have to do is be authentic, and they will flock. They will flock to you. Plus, we'll nudge them that way a little bit too, Master.
I wanted to add to that on hell. Julius told me very early on in this whole process that I'll use Mindalia as the you. You have come to this existence to turn the light on for people. It's not your responsibility for everybody to wake up and move out the door and get on with their life. It's only your responsibility to turn that light on and then let everybody else figure out what they're going to do with that. Remember, you turn the light on, you stay true to that, and watch out with what's going to happen.
Yeah, they're going to wake up or they're not going to wake up, but if you keep turning the light on, more than likely they'll finally get their rear tails out of bed and get moving at some point. It's coming. It's here. It's here. It's here.
Man.
Just keep that field open. Just keep it open. There's a wave. It's right about here. It's right about here. Let's just keep it going.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. So let's go to the questions with your permission, okay?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So the first one is from Monica, coming from Monica in Ecuador. And she asks, I lost a baby 18 years ago when I was 6 months pregnant. I would like to know why I lost that baby and how is my baby's soul now? Also, can I find peace and close this episode I have pending in my life? Excuse me, it was a long one.
So, Master, what we will tell you is a couple of different things. A soul enters a physical embodiment at unknown times. Sometimes a physical baby is literally in just a manufacturing process. And if something is a little off or something energetically doesn't work, that physical body releases itself and the soul was never engaged. It was never engaged. Sometimes the soul enters very early in the process in a pregnancy. Sometimes the soul doesn't enter till the very end when they're just about to come out of the physical body. So that is one thing that we can tell you. The other thing is this. Souls choose experience. They choose experience. And if there was a soul engaged in that little baby, it had an experience inside your body, growing with love, growing with nurturing, and it was done. And so it left. It's not a right or a wrong process. All is well. All is well. Okay? That soul is safe and nurtured and loved. There is no reason for fear in your mind in any way, shape, or form. Okay? Should you choose to be pregnant again, it could be that that soul re-engages and decides to carry on a further experience for you. Or that soul can come into your life through another type of engagement of a child or a relative. Just keep your heart open. You didn't do anything wrong. And you are not being punished. That is an illusion, and you must get that out of your consciousness field, Master. You are good, and you are safe, and you are well. Love yourself, Master. The baby is loved. The baby loves you. carry on with joy.
Excellent. Thank you. Next question. I'm planning to have my second child, but sometimes I'm afraid that something could go wrong with my marriage and or our finances. Are these thoughts real? Should I pay attention to them?
Well, Master, we can say yes and no. The best way to do this, the best approach to do this is to have very, very clear communication with your partner. Very clear communication. Because that is really where it could be that you're picking up on your partner's energy of their doubts and their worries and their fears. And we say, yes, the energy is real. Can you shift that? Yes, but you must do it together. Okay. Finances are easy, so to speak. It's the relationship that you need to really, really make sure is secure and intimate.
Yeah, if your relationship with your partner is not strong and it falters, then that's where you need to put your energy. Because to be very honest with you, you can live out of a dumpster with a partner who supports you 100%.
And you will find joy.
And you will find joy.
But the baby will not fix your relationship. So do not be running from your relationship to find a fix outside.
And
don't do that.
Yeah, don't have a child thinking that it's going to fix the problem in your relationship.
Get everything strong. Get everything nurtured. Show authenticity. Walk into this together with no fear, and you are in good form. But this is a great time for you to open that field of intimacy and communication. That is your answer.
Excellent. Thank you. Next question. My friend's dad passed away a few weeks ago, and she seems to have doubts about why he didn't seem to want to recover once in the hospital. Is he with her and her family every day?
We can tell you this. When souls leave a physical embodiment, they are multifractional and multidimensional. There is no one singular place that your soul goes to. You are multifaceted, unlimited being, and you may have as many collective experiences simultaneously in the moment of now as you choose. When somebody thinks of that soul, they are right there. Right there.
Every moment that you think of them, they exist.
They are. And it's okay. Think of them often. Think of them as much as you need to nurture yourself and assure yourself they're fine, and you're not keeping them from doing something that they're supposed to be doing. They're a multifaceted being. Okay?
They were done. They were done with what they wanted to accomplish here.
Right.
That's why they left. That's
Right.
why they didn't want to recover.
Right.
They were finished with this experience.
Right.
Quit trying to hold them to this experience and let them be who they want to be.
Yeah, and human beings get so consumed with the altered ego, and they think, well, why would someone want to leave me, or why would someone want to leave their family? It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about expandable experience, and your altered ego mind more than likely will never allow you to have full understanding of what another soul is feeling or choosing, until you let go of judgment. But all of you out there, your loved ones are not gone. They are not gone. In fact, for some of you, you may have a window of opportunity to create an intimate relationship with someone that you couldn't do when they were physical. So think about them, feel with them, and communicate with them.
Dream about them.
Yeah, they are right by you.
Spend the time with them. Think about them often, and they will reward you like you've never, ever imagined.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Next one from Stan. I'm curious about a comment I recently heard from Abraham when he said, everyone has their own Abraham. And if we only learn to open and listen. I'm wondering what Julius has to say about that.
So, Master, this is a truth. The highest truth, as it is known, is that we are all one. So we are you, you are us, and you are anything that you can imagine yourself to be, and the highest version of yourself that you allow yourself to accept. That is a truth.
It's very complicated and complex.
If you believe that you are separate and you must have separate types of access and connectedness to beings outside of yourself, then you may open your field and allow the process in. But we will tell you this. Channeling is different for everyone. It comes through inspirational thought. Just because we transfer through this body, just like Abraham does with Esther, to fully communicate with you in the physical, it starts with a thought. It starts with a thought and transfers itself. So think. Your wisdom is in here. It is. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. The only thing stopping you is that you think you can't, or that you think it's exclusive for this or for that, and it's not. It's all in your acceptability. By listening to a program like this, we hope that we inspire you to unleash your magnificence, not to bind you to ours. We know we're magnificent. We know we are God. We know you are as well. We will help you come back to your knowing.
Thank you. I love that sentence. Unleashing all our potential, all our possibilities. Thank you. That's really powerful. I think that we are definitely helping today to a lot of people unleash their true potential. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kasey. Let's go back, and Julius, obviously. Let's go back to another question from the same Stan Sorensen. He says, do you ever interact with other channels such as Abraham Hicks?
Abraham is in the 4th field of consciousness, Master. We are in the 6th field of consciousness. Abraham has never been physical. We have been physical, and so our messages are a little bit different than theirs. We can tell you back on support of what we said a moment ago, that we are all one, that we are all one. If you are asking if we tap into communication with anyone that we choose, yes, of course, just like you do, just like you do. The Master Abraham is a brilliant bridge for people who are coming into the knowing of possibilities outside that they have never considered. And we love them and we honor them for that. As all masters and all communicators of love, allowing, and possibility. In the game of communication, it is vast and it is varied, but what we can tell you is this. We do our best to send our message out just as we know you do. Keep doing it because it is heard.
Excellent. Next question. I have recently seen a few things at home that do not make sense from a rational perspective. Lights that switch off by themselves, and so on and so forth. What do you think is going on?
Oh, lots of things, Master, lots of things. There's no empty space between you and the object across the room. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
Wake up! You're being called.
Yes.
You're being called away from your logical mind to find your soul. Move! Move with it. You've got beings that are working with you diligently. Open the door. Open the door. It's like this. I need this. I need this. I need this. So I'm going to order it on Amazon. And I'm going to wait for it to come to the door. And I'm going to wait every day for it to come to the door. And it just came to the door and the guy knocked on the door and you didn't open it. And you're like, where's my package? Where's my package? We're like, we're knocking on the door. Your door is being knocked on. When you feel or experience the extraordinary, Master, the most honorable thing you can do is recognize it, be open to it, and thank it. And then it will keep showing up for you just like everyone else in your life. Who cares if it doesn't make any sense? Because we will tell you your soul doesn't make any sense. Only your logical mind does. Move away from it and you will hit your magnificence.
Wow, thank you. Next question. Last summer, I found out I have a little benign tumor close to my optic left eye. I have to do an MRI every 3 months to make sure it doesn't grow. Could you see if the tumor should be removed? I get light headaches on that side sometimes, but I'm optimistic that with my visualizations and meditations, the tumor will disappear. What will you recommend?
Yes. Actually, Master, it all has to do with your knowing. So we're getting a very conflicting message from you. You are very tied to fear by buying into the fact that you keep having to check it to make sure it's not growing, which means that you are disempowered in the situation on how it was created in the first place, while you are fighting some of your new knowing that's trying to tell you you did create this and you can recreate it through your thoughts and through your emotions. So you're very conflicted, and man, it's riding right in that field. We have to tell you that it is always recommended to do what you know, but we encourage you to know that you are creating this, not something else. But if you can't accept that, keep seeing the damn doctors and let them start digging into you and let them start poisoning you, because if you know that will work, it will. Okay? That's what we will tell you. You are a fully empowered being. If you would choose to create this experience for yourself, then dive very deep in the saturated work of that, Master. That's what we would tell you. You will know by the way you feel. We're not going to tell you what to do. You will tell yourself what to do. That's how that works. Because if we did, we would take your power away. Okay? We don't need to know that we're God. You do. You do. So take this opportunity as a playing field to know yourself. In either case, should you decide to have the surgery, then make yourself heal very quickly afterwards and get on with it. Okay? If you choose not to have the surgery, stop living in fear, find your joy,
and get on with it.
Unleash your magnificence and get on with it. Okay? That's what we would tell you.
Powerful. Thank you. Thank you. Next one. For almost, excuse me, let me make sure I'm reading it right. For almost 17 years, I have had chronic migraine headaches, and no doctor has been able to find out what causes them. I would like to know if this condition is physical, emotional, or spiritually related, and what can I do to resolve it or to remove the blockage that keeps me from healing? Okay.
We would tell you that it is all three for you, Master. It is all three. We could tell you that without getting too argumentative on a nutritional component, your migraines are caused by meat and dairy in your life. That is a truth. If you switch to a whole plant-based diet, you will see a difference. Having said that, your thoughts contribute to this, and everything around you environmentally contributes to it because you accept it, and you know it, and you live in fear. There's many things collectively that you have the power to change in your life. But also there's something triggering that for you, and that is an extraordinarily stress in your life that you are not acknowledging, you're trying to bury, and you're afraid to talk about. We would tell you to reveal, and you will let that pressure off.
Let it go.
You're mostly afraid to talk about the things you think about, so it's hurting your head. Does that make sense? Okay. So we would tell you, whatever you're thinking, Master, speak it. Get it out your field and stop holding it back. You're worried about judgment, and you're worried about acceptance, and you're worried about isolation. But we would also encourage you to change what you're putting into your body so that that poison is no longer affecting you as well. We hope that helps.
Awesome. Thank you. Next question. Someone called Alex says, I would like to know who is my spiritual guide and what would be the best way to contact him or her.
You are, Master.
You.
Pay attention. How about that? Don't you love that answer? Don't you love it? Okay.
They're going, what did you just say?
You are your spiritual guide,
you
Master.
are your own spiritual guide.
Open it up. Open it up. Listen. Feel it. Pay attention.
Yeah, go to the mirror.
Yeah.
And look at the person in the mirror.
Yeah.
And ask that person your questions.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And see what that person in the mirror says back.
We love the students that follow us because we understand that they're coming back to the remembrance of this truth, that they are their guides. We love that. We can aid you in accessing that for yourself, Master. We could tell you all kinds of fancy names and tell you you need to meditate a certain way, and we could tell you to stand on your left leg and spin around 3 times and knock on the wall twice, and you're suddenly going to get your guide. And if you accept that as a truth, it will be for you. It will be for you. But the fastest way is right here. Right here. Open that up. Open that up. That is the highest truth.
Thank you. Excellent. Another one. Can you tell us, Mira says, can you tell us about dogs and cats? Where do they go when they leave their material body? I really want to know, where is my dog Jade now?
Okay. So, Master, we will tell you that anything that can feel, anything that has emotions has a soul. And we support that all souls are light beings. Souls take on different types of experiences in order to expand themselves. Only human beings hold themselves arrogant enough to believe that they are the I Ching of soul experience and that their souls only incarnate back into humanoid types of environments. But that is not a truth. So every being that can feel has a soul. So your dogs and cats are no different than any other light beings traversing into their next thought once they leave physical. That's where they are. They're in their next thought, their next stage of consciousness, and their next emotional capacity. You have the ability to call them to you just like any other soul by thinking about them, communicating with them, and feeling them, and they will respond. If you think that's nutty, well, that's a limitation. We know that it is an open field truth, but we can tell you this. That dog visits you often as a apparition type of embodiment from being a dog. We know that you can feel them on your bed.
You recognize it out of the corner of your eyes. You think you've seen something that has just gone past you, and it literally, that's the dog.
That dog worries about you, Master. There's something we won't display here, but there's something that the dog is concerned about with you and visits you often. But you can communicate with that dog now the same way you did when it was in that type of embodiment. And we would encourage you to do that so you may find peace in that relationship.
Excellent. Thank you. Going back to the youth again. So my son started to have problems to sleep when he started taking his ADHD medication. After so many years, he says now that he needs a dog to be able to sleep again. Why do you think he's asking? Why do you think he's asking for a dog?
To love, to calm,
Wants a connection,
to provide peace.
Yes.
The ADHD is a phenomenon of disconnection, okay? This actually we support has been imprinted by the electronic devices. That is an absolute truth. That is an absolute truth. And actually support that he could find massive relief in that if he completely disconnected from the devices. That's a truth, whether you like that answer or not. That's what that other soul will do for him. It will provide for him a reason to disconnect.
To get
away. It will provide for him emotional nurturing to calm him down. we suggest you do it. Do something to help calm him down. Let him go for walks. Let him do training. Let him sleep peacefully and get those goddamn devices away from him. Okay? He should not be in that field for more than 2 hours a day maximum for him. So choose those 2 hours wisely with programming like this, and he can be well and safe and whole.
Wow, I think that speaks to so many families, to so many homes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so very much. I think we've reached the last, all the questions. Yeah, we've asked all the questions. I would like to end the conversation thanking Julius and all his group, thanking you. But before that, could you please share with the audience, where can we find you?
We have a website, expand, EXPAND with Julius.com. And that website has lots of information on it. Programming, workshops, videos, all of the retreat programs that we put on, all of the different programs, all our classes that we do. Mm-hmm. Lots of information on that. expandwithjulius.com.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything specific that you would like to share with your audience, something that you're working on, something that maybe people are not fully aware that you're doing to improve, the support and the service that you already provide the community? Anything that you would like to say?
We most recently have created a program where you come for a retreat facility to help you get rid of the fear energy in your life. You all have an energetic gridding pattern around your physical embodiment, and it gets embedded with your thoughts and your perspectives. And most of you hit a ceiling of raising your consciousness and resolve in your life before things seem to fall back to old patterns, or things just seem to not be able to clear their field. We help you clear your field of fear in your electronic or energy frequency grid around your physical embodiment. That is our newest thing. It is called the R Factoring Program. We would love to facilitate you to get to your core expansiveness that will turn into rocket fuel for you on your journey. We are honored and blessed to provide that interaction with you.
Where do those retreats happen?
Here on our property, here on this farm. Mm-hmm.
We are currently under construction on a new retreat facility mm-hmm. that can handle up to 12 people mm-hmm. at a time. Mm-hmm. But right now we can handle 5 people at a time. Mm-hmm. Currently, mm-hmm. Yeah. That's your room and board, mm-hmm. the meals, plus the 3 days of intensive.
It's work.
Programming.
Yeah,
it's a very intensive program of 3 days of what we call reprogramming the way you think.
Yeah, you can get information on that, R Factoring, on the website. You can see testimonial videos. You can receive all kinds of further information on that. And of course, you can email support, and our support team will answer any of the questions that you have. That'd be lovely.
When you say here, what is here?
Utah.
In
Southern
Utah.
Yes. Thank you. Utah in the U.S.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
In the United States.
Right here, get over here. Come on, get over here.
Yeah, we had light outside when we started the interview tonight, and but yeah, so it's here. It's in the, let's say, in the north center west of the U.S. It would be the right way to describe it.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
It's
awesome.
Beautiful here. We have gorgeous 5 national parks. So you can come and visit and stay on an extended vacation for yourself and be fully renewed by the time you're done.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you. Any final comment? Anything that your intuition tells you right now that Julius wants to share with our audience before closing?
Yes. You are God. That's what we tell you. You are God. You are the masters of your experience. You are the masters of your journey. You are the masters of it all. Please try to come to that knowing. It will resolve every limitation that you have ever experienced and prevent any further limitation from entering into your life. Open up your hearts in the knowing that everyone is this truth. And so as you gain the knowing from yourself, please see it in all others. Shift the consciousness of this realm, masters, and you will change yourselves and everything. Please do it. Please do it with us. Please do it for you. You are loved beyond any comprehensional state that you have currently, but that's okay. Just know that it is true. We love you. We honor you as it will be.
Thank you. We will never get tired of speaking with you, with Julius, with the group, with you, Kasey, and with you, Brad. You are outstanding. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here with us tonight. And again, this is Angel Rebo with Mindalia TV, and we hope to see you soon in our next live transmission, live broadcast tomorrow. Thank you very much, and good night to everybody.